Therefore, we kind of turn to the lower time frames to see if, once again, we can further confirm the bias that we're bringing down from the high time frames to actually find a great risk to reward setup for our entry and for our stop. Hi everybody, welcome back. Aiman and Simon here. Today we are talking about a trade that Aiman actually took earlier this week. So it was a trend continuation play, and we're really going to dive into kind of our thinking, methodology, and end up with kind of the execution of how Aiman at the end of the day managed this trade earlier this week. So if you guys aren't already subscribed, make sure you head to the bottom right corner on the Stock Trading Simulator website. Just enter your email there. We email out various trade ideas and kind of market replay homework over the course of the week for the Stock Trading Simulator tool that BBT offers. And then on a weekly basis, we cover our execution. So like what we're doing today, we really dive into kind of our thinking and how you guys can land very similar trades to this style, within your own trade book and within your own strategy. So without further ado, what I'll do is I'll kind of give you the overarching idea of what Aiman and I were looking at and interested in from the larger time frames, and then I'll pass it off to Aiman to really dive into the execution side. So as far as taking a look at the daily chart, a few things that I like about BAC. So you can see a very nice confirmation candle and a very nice retest of the 50 SMA. So there was a previous bounce off the 20 EMA, and then that bounce off the 50 SMA was a beautiful retest of a previous swing high. So that definitely indicates strength in the trend, and the fact that it's not only holding the moving average and the previous swing high, but that you're getting a great confirmation candle. So the consecutive days that you want to see going into it, we want to be taking longs, especially for trend continuation plays above the moving average configuration. So above the 9 EMA, above the 20 EMA. So you can see that on the previous daily candle, we had a beautiful green candle. It was above the 9, it was above the 20. It provided great confirmation for an opportunity to go long as far as trend continuation goes if we see confirmation on some of the lower time frames. But that essentially kind of anchors the methodology from the daily chart, which is important to kind of drive that confluence and drive the bias as you go onto the lower time frames to create and confirm your trade idea and see if it actually meets your trade book setup. So taking a look at the 30-minute chart, you can see once again very similar style as to the daily, sitting above the 9, sitting above the 20. The one concern that you'd have on the 30-minute chart that Aiman and I don't actually trade off of, we do trade off the 60-minute chart, is just you have a little bit of a reversal candle against you. Although this is still in a strong uptrend, the 60-minute chart was a little bit cleaner because it had a very nice ABCD that didn't actually dip below the 9 or the 20 EMA. So this is kind of where it also comes down to what time frames do you trade with, and Aiman and I use the daily, the 60, the 5, and the 1, and you're going to see different signals and different confirmations if you trade the 15 and the 30, for example. So just some considerations, but overall we were still bullish once again because of the daily chart. We saw confirmation for an ABCD pattern on the 30-minute chart as well as on the 60-minute chart. Therefore, we kind of turn to the lower time frames to see if, once again, we can further confirm the bias that we're bringing down from the high time frames to actually find a great risk to reward setup for our entry and for our stop. So Aiman, do you maybe want to share with everybody kind of what you did earlier this week on BAC to land a kick-ass trade?
Yeah, thank you, Simon. And that was actually a great explanation of the bigger time frames. And guys, we mentioned the biggest clue, or one of the biggest clues around here, is the ABCD pattern on the bigger time frame. And remember, what's the ABCD pattern? The ABCD pattern is a trend continuation pattern. So the level C is usually your stop loss, and in this case, the level C is 47.15. So looking at BAC, we could draw a clear level at 47.15. That is our stop loss. And with the style that me and Simon are doing, we will be trying to get into this position as close as possible to the level of the support. Why is that? Just to have a better risk to reward. The closer you are getting to the 47.15, the bigger share size you can take, because your risk will be small, just a few cents. Whereas if you are entering around here at 47.40, your risk will be bigger, which could get you less share size and less reward. Now let's start it with 1 times speed, because I remember when I played this one, my entry was on the first minute. As I mentioned, I tried to enter as close as possible to the 47.15 area, and for me that is usually around 7% of the ATR. I'll try to enter around 47.22, which is, there it is, 7% of the ATR. The ATR on BAC or the average true range is $1. 7% out of it is 7 cents. Now I do not enter at 7 cents of the stop loss on all the stocks. I'm definitely not going to enter at 7 cents above the stop loss on Tesla, right? And I'm not going to enter at 7 cents above the stop loss on Microsoft, because the ATR on those stocks is bigger. Tesla, I think, around $50 ATR on the daily chart. So I'll usually be entering somewhere around $2 maybe above the stop loss, to maximum $3 above the stop loss. On a stock like BAC that doesn't move a lot, that is kind of safe, I'm usually entering as close as possible to the support with a 7% of the ATR stop. Now that I'm in the position, I usually try to go for a 7-to-1 risk to reward. If my stop loss around here was 7 cents, basically my 7-to-1 would be around 49 cents profit. If you add the 49 cents profit to BAC, that would be around 47.71. So basically my target would be at 47.71. Now take a look at this. One issue we have around here is that there is a level ahead of us at 47.65, which is yesterday's high. So, and my target is at 47.71. Does that mean I need to be so stubborn and I need to wait for my target 47.71 to hit? Definitely not. What you could do in this case is lock in a big part of your position closer to the high of the day, just in case it bounces out of it and drops. If it breaks above it, then you could expect actually a trend. There it is, for example, 47.65. You see how it's starting to reject closer to it. Why is that? Because people see this level. They see that this could act as a potential resistance. So anyone who played it to the long side out there starting to lock in some profits closer to the high, just in case this thing drops. So closer to the high, as I mentioned, you could start to sell your partials. And then if it breaks the 47.65, which is yesterday's high, you could expect a trend. You could expect that the stock is going to trend more than, or maybe to hit its ATR. And how much did we say the ATR on BAC? The ATR on BAC is $1. So you could expect it to run from 47.15 all the way to 48.15. I'm not going to the full ATR. Usually I go around 80% of the ATR. So I could target somewhere around 47.85, 47.80, just to be safe. You don't want to go always to the maximum, go closer to it. And if it goes to 47.85, I'm all out, or most of my position out. If it drops, then I'm already on the safe side. I already covered most of my position and I could bail on the trade. That's it around here, 47.85. That's what we were targeting, and that was basically my whole trade that I executed on Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. This is one way of practicing. What you could do is, some of you are using some other charting softwares. Find the stocks that you like on the daily and on the 60, then try to analyze them on smaller time frame and practice them in the stock trading simulator at any speed you feel convenient with. Could be 1, could be 5. Especially when you're waiting for your target, you don't really need to do it with the slow speed. You could do it at 10 times speed, because you know that now you're basically not doing anything. It either hits your stop or your target. You don't need to waste any time on it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your comments are really appreciated. It motivates us only to do better. You can follow me and Simon on Twitter. You could see our Twitter handles at the right corner to the bottom down here. And if you have any questions, also feel free to email me or Simon. Any feedback is also appreciated. You can send it to feedback@stocktradingsimulator.com. Have a great day, everyone.
Cheers,
and we'll
guys.
talk to you next week. Bye-bye.